Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? I hope your Friday has been absolutely fantastic. My name is Lisa Keegan. For those who don't know me, I am a consultant and a team leader for Thermomix in Australia, and you'll find me here online Monday to Friday, inspiring you with recipes to help you with your Thermomix and help you get more out of your Thermomix, or maybe if you don't have one yet and you're watching along, answer your questions about what a Thermomix is and does and how it might help you in the kitchen. Now today, I've picked a manual recipe, kind of regretting picking a manual recipe in all honesty. It is Friday. It's been a massive week with the bowl announcement, and I think we've had over, I think it must be up to about 1,600, maybe 1,800 now, Thermomixes sold on the bowl offer. So it has been ginormous. They're not out of stock yet though, so if you haven't had a chance to buy your Thermomix with a $29 bowl offer, you've still got time, okay? So don't fret about that yet. We're not out of stock yet. But today, yeah, manual recipe featuring pineapple. So this week's been all about pineapple. So we're going to make a beautiful pineapple coconut rice. We're going to steam some veggies. We're going to make an omelette on top to go with dinner tonight. And we're actually going to have some steamed salmon for dinner. The kids have some fish. They've been catching fish, so that's awesome. So I am doing it manually. So I am going to have to look at my computer. I cannot wait for Cookie Dough 3.0 to come out later this year, okay? I do have a test run of it, but I can't show you it yet, sadly. This would have made my life so much easier. So for those of you, hello Lynette, hello Carissa, thanks for joining in. For those of you who are familiar with guided cooking, it just makes things so much easier because step by step it'll tell you how much to put in, it'll tell you how fast to turn the blades. It's all there, and this is what it's going to do on this 3.0 as well. But you can type in your own recipes or bring them in from Cookie Dough or Recipe Community. It's amazing. I wish I had that to show you. Well, I wish I was allowed to show you. But anyway, we'll just hold tight. That is coming. Watch this space. So, a little anxious about showing you this recipe because I'm going to have to relate over to my what's it called, computer to look it up. But what I've got prepped is I've got some veggies in my Varoma. So these are going to steam over the top of my rice, which is going inside, and my omelette that's going on top. So I'd love to know in the comments, do you use your Varoma? Okay, it's often a comment I've heard, particularly from those of you who bought your Thermomix in TM31 days or even beginning of TM5 days, that your Varoma can be left away, aside and neglected. So if you don't use your Varoma, let us know in the chat. I'd love to send you some recipes to support you to use your Varoma more because it's a steaming attachment and it's absolutely amazing. Good afternoon, Rachel. So we're doing a beautiful pineapple rice layered dish today from Recipe Community. I will put the link in there later for you. So let's get started. First things first is, let's bring the computer a bit closer. I don't really have much space here. I am missing my home kitchen. So first thing it tells us to do is to place the rice basket into the Thermomix, so our simmering basket, and weigh in 400 grams of rice. Now, my first tip of the day is you don't have to be precise with 400 grams. 400 grams will actually take you to the middle rung of your little holes in the basket. If you do half a basket, that's 400 grams. That's your maximum because it'll blow up to twice as much. So if you do half, it'll go all the way up to full, okay? Anywhere under half is fine. I've just eyeballed it and thought that'll do, okay? So that's how much, and I've got white rice with a little bit of brown in there actually. Next step is to add to the Thermomix 1 tin of coconut milk and 150 grams of fresh pineapple. Now I do not actually have coconut milk. I've got this creamed coconut powder that I'm going to work out how to use today. Told you I was a little bit anxious about presenting, right? Because I'm totally winging it as usual, but I'm winging it in a way that hopefully you guys can copy. I've got my leftover cut up pineapple from yesterday or the day before, actually Monday probably. So I'm going to put that in first. It's supposed to be about 150. 200 is close enough. And now I'm going to make up my packet here of coconut stuff. So this is supposed to make, you got a thick or a thin, 50 grams to 300 mils of hot water. So the 50 grams is a whole packet. I only need in there, that says 1 tin. I have no idea. Let's just continue to make it up as we go along. Let's just put this in. You guys would just probably have a tin in your cupboard, right? This is kind of my backup plan. We've just had these traveling in the caravan for a very long time. They're probably out of date. Let's not look too hard at the packet. And so we're going to put some water in there too. Now, the great thing about doing it this way is really need to find the spout. There we go. First of all, we're going to blitz this down. So the very first thing we're going to do is actually juice this down. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to work out how much liquid to put in, because now I am going off the recipe. All right. So I'm going to put the lid on. First things first is we're going to make this a juice. So let's bring it up to speed 10 for 30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds. Bear with me for 30 seconds. While that's going, I'm going to whip up my eggs, because this is going to be my omelette later. So speed 10, 30 seconds. Let's do that. So far not spilled the eggs out of the bowl. Okay, this is why I usually do things in the Thermomix, but it told me to whip them in a separate bowl. Shouldn't have listened. Okay, we have juiced that down. Hello, Angeline. Lovely to have you on this afternoon as well. I don't know how much I can show you without spilling it, but it just looks like a white liquid at the moment. Now, what we want to do, oh, it smells amazing. It smells like a cocktail. All right, what we need to do, next step is we need to rinse our rice. So always rinse your rice, okay? No matter what recipe you're using, rinse your rice. Make sure all those grains are damp, okay? Gets rid of some of the starch out of it as well. Doesn't matter if you don't get it completely clean, just means you get thicker liquid in the bottom, but you do want to give it a good rinse. Now, next step is it goes back in the Thermomix without making too much mess. By the way, you can make this on a TM31, TM5, TM6, Thermo, whatever you've got, okay? Now, you're probably wondering, how on earth do I work out how much water to put in this now? With rice, you literally fill it till it gets to the top grain of rice and just go just below that. So like a grain of rice below the top, okay? So I'm just going to pour this in until it's below the top grain of rice. Normally I do it under the tap, yeah? Take it over to your tap normally. And that looks perfect. And I can tell it's actually, that was just coincidental. I can tell that it's under that grain of rice because as I give it a wiggle and jiggle, you can see the water just under that grain of rice doing the jiggle. So that's done. That's how much liquid that's going to need to cook. So now what we do, lid on. Now white rice is going to take 20 minutes. Brown rice is going to take 35. I just had a thought to tell you something. Those of you with a TM5, you've got over here your rice mode. Where is it? Did I say TM5, TM6? If I said TM5. You've got a rice cooking mode, and I can't even see it. There we go, rice cooker. Couple of things with your rice cooker mode, okay? Some tips and hints. Some people really struggle with this recipe, and the reason being is they forget or they misread and they don't tip the rice out of the simmering basket. If you are cooking on rice cooker mode, you are not cooking your rice in a simmering basket like I am right now. You actually tip the contents into the bowl and it will cook with your blades. That is the #1 problem I see when people try and use rice cooker mode. Okay, it does say, and it's a bit confusing, the recipes with rice cooker mode say rinse the rice, and then it says place the rice in the bowl, and that it actually should say tip your rice out of the simmering basket in the bowl. Just kind of that misread, okay? So just a little tip, if you've ever failed at rice, that might be why. All right, we're not using rice cooker mode though. We're going 20 minutes, and we're going to go Varoma, and we're going to go speed 3. Now, that'll start that rice cooking process. This is your time in your kitchen to start chopping up your veggies for your Varoma. All right? You can put nearly anything in there. Just remember cook times. You've got to be a bit logical with your cook times. You can't put a big chunk of potato and then some cabbage and expect it to cook in the same time. It will, by the time it gets to steaming temp, it'll take about 7 to 10 minutes to get up to steam. So you're actually going to have 10 minutes of cook time. So it really isn't long enough to cook chunks of potato anyway. So what am I going to do now is I'm going to take out my measuring cup, and I've got in here some cabbage, some slithers of carrot, okay, and I've got some this stuff, capsicum. I've forgotten to get the broccoli out, and I actually forgot as well to grab I've got red cabbage as well. I'm going to get that out later, but I want to show you. Actually, I'm going to do it now because otherwise I can't do the next step. Hang on. What I was going to do is I want to put my omelette on top, but if I don't get, if I have to take that off and it's not cooked, it's going to get messy. So let me just put this broccoli in. And let's finish it off. Alright, so now I need my tray. Tray is going in next, and I'm going to show you how to make an omelette in your Thermomix. Give that tray a push down. It needs to be relatively flat. And then you need some baking paper. Oh, hang on, computer's going flying. 2 secs. Alright, I've just realised I've actually missed something out of the bottom part of this recipe. When you guys look at the original recipe for this, you'll see this sauce should have soy sauce in it, and fish sauce, and something else that I didn't have. I do have soy sauce. I've gone past it now. I'm not going to bother fixing it. Okay, if I was normally cooking off video, I would just do it like this. So I'm going to keep it real, and I'm going to go, missed that step, forgot that step, don't really care. So you will see there's some differences between the recipe when I share the link. You'll see there's some differences, but it works out still the same. All right, I'm excited. The kids are going to love this beautiful rice that's got that pineapple flavour through. Yes, if you've got fish sauce, by all means do your soy sauce and fish sauce blend in there as well. Okay, back to the eggs. You can see I'm a bit scattery today. Sorry guys, it's been a massive day. So, wet baking paper is your answer to making an omelette in your Thermomix. Anyone want to comment if you've made an omelette before? Say hi in the chat if you've made an omelette in your Thermomix. There's one on your basic cookbook. It makes a really fat, thick omelette. Beautiful. There's another one that's a spinach roll omelette. Amazing. I would highly suggest giving it a go. Now, I don't know if you can see, but my Varoma's got a bit of a jiggle. It's because the speed. Let's just turn it down a little bit. Anything over speed 2 will actually continue to push your steam up far enough to cook successfully. So don't stress about the fact that it's on speed 2 and it's going a bit slower. Speed 2 is probably ideal, but I don't want this to be jiggling and wiggling when I'm trying to cook an egg omelette in the top, okay? It's not going to do it well. So, wet baking paper, lay down on top, make sure you push it down a little bit, and then egg goes straight in the top. Now, you could put salt and pepper on top, you could put some spinach on top, you can do up to 5 eggs. I've just done 3 today. I think that'll be enough because we're not eating this just alone. We're actually eating this with salmon, so that'll be fine. And then the lid goes on. Now, when you do open the link later and you look at the original on this recipe, you will also notice it had bacon in it, and it did say mixed veggies as well. I'm skipping them out because I just don't have them, all right? And that is perfectly fine. Don't feel like you've got to stick regimentedly to a recipe, all right? So yes, you'll notice that change as well. But in 20 minutes, this is going to be done. Now this liquid in the bottom, if you've put the fish sauce and the soy sauce in, you'll find that you can thicken that up and actually use that as a sauce over your fried rice. It's not quite fried rice, but it kind of is. So you can do that as well. All right, so I would love to know, those of you watching on, if you've tried this style of layered dish. It's really amazing, okay? Things like your Quirky Cooking's got a recipe on Guided that is for macadamia. It's got macadamia nuts in it. I'm trying to think, macadamia satay. It's amazing. The paprika layered chicken dish, amazing. So give these recipes a go. They follow the same process, except they're guided. Thank goodness for Guided. I wouldn't have forgot the soy sauce if it was guided, right? But they follow the same concept. Water or liquid in the bowl, rice in here, veggies, and sometimes protein on top. So paprika chicken, chicken on top. The quirky one, it's got chicken on top as well. You might have salmon, you might have fish. There's things you can do. So check those recipes out. They're fantastic because they're done in 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Hang on, buddy. I'm on the film for a second. Thank you. 5-year-olds coming in from bike rides. So that's it from me today. Let me know if I can help you with anything regarding your Thermomix. Please let your friends and family know about this $29 deal, okay? When buying a Thermomix, 36 months interest-free is also on. So they can actually get a Thermomix on the bench for under $19 a week at the moment, which is fantastic. The other thing I want to make mention to is Thermomix have opened up Australia-wide recruitment. Now, what does that mean? It actually means that if you would like, or you've ever entertained the thought of doing what I do and inspiring others to get Thermomixes on their bench and completely change their kitchen, then you can actually join my team if you'd like. So you could go into a local team if that's your preference. However, you are welcome to come into my team, and I can mentor you and coach you and inspire you and help you build a business of your own. Whether that's short-term or long-term, the beauty of Thermomix is that's totally up to you. So if you'd asked me 8 years ago if I'd still been here, now I probably wouldn't have believed you. But beautiful company to work alongside, so generous in what they offer, and so if you've ever thought about it, do let me know. Send me a message. I would love to have a chat with you, give you the information that you need to see if it is something that's going to fit into your life or not, and that's okay if it doesn't as well. Thank you for thinking about it. But honestly, the people you will impact, they will be really grateful that you decided to, because I can't impact them, and the time it would take me to eventually meet them is a long way down the track. Whereas if you joined and you show them and you inspire them, they'll be getting a Thermomix sooner rather than later. So do think about that, especially over the weekend. Think about whether that's something that you could imagine yourself doing, whether it be face-to-face demos or showing up online like this. Yeah, I'd love you to join my team if that's something you're interested in. But otherwise, guys, take care. Have a fantastic weekend. Next week, I'm excited to show you some stuff next week. I think we're going to start a little bit of Christmas stuff. For those of you, some of you guys asked the question today, are you ready for it? Should I start yet? I think we're going to start building a Christmas hamper. Just one day a week, so not huge, okay? Don't unfollow me because we're starting Christmas. But yeah, we're going to start building our hampers just gradually so that we've got some beautiful hampers for relatives, teachers, gifts, friends, when it comes to Christmas, which apparently is only 9 Fridays away. Can you believe it? So, thanks for popping on today, guys. Thanks for saying hello, all of you lovely people. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. So take care over the weekend, and we'll see you then. Bye, guys.
Mummy, can I have the car keys?
Hang on a second. Hang on.